Back with another transfer talk video as Arsenal finally some business done. Pablo Mari has signed. As I've been saying for the last few days, I expected this deal to go through. It has happened today. It's a loan with an option to buy. The Spanish defender has joined us from Brazilian side Flamengo. He'll be here on loan until the end of the season. It's a £4 million fee to take him on loan, which gives the indication that Arsenal are looking to finish this deal and probably sign him on a permanent in the summer. As we've said before, tall guy, left-footed player, was voted the best defender in South America. So welcome Pablo Mari to the club. We've all got to support him, and let's hope he can be a bargain at the end of the day. Not every expensive player represents value for money, as we've seen with players like Maguire, who struggled at United. So I'm hoping that this will be a bit of a revelation. And at the end of the day, look, if he doesn't do well enough, we say no at the end of the season and send him back. What do we lose? £4 million. It's worth taking a risk. Arsenal obviously don't want to spend big money in this window. I don't see this as a big risk. One thing that is a little bit disappointing, he's just about to start pre-season in Brazil for his team Flamengo. So he's coming off the back of a break. So maybe he's not match fit at the moment, which is a shame because we could do with him being available straight away. Whether they'll leave him on the bench for the game against Burnley will remain to be seen. So read to me comments quick. Emmanuel Tillahun says, Curtis, my guy, what's good? What are you saying, bro? You're good. Omar said, evening, Curtis. Big up, Omar. Akeem said, hi. Welcome to the Arsenal. Pablo Mari says, Omar again. Taib says, big up, Curtis. Tom McGurm said, a very good bit of business. Ben Selby said, will he play against Burnley? I doubt it. Just because he's not fully fit. He may be on the bench, you never know. Anthony Williams, man like Curtis, what he's saying. Respect, man. I appreciate that. Let's have a look. What else? Azum said, hello, my boy, back with another stream. Respect. The Saint says, what's up? Hello, Curtis. New defender will be amazing. Well, I hope you're right, mate. £4 million, 26 years old, 6'3", big guy, left-footed. Was voted the best defender in South America. So let's hope he can improve our defence. Because, let's face it, the standard in our defence at the moment is not very high. So if he's decent, then hey, him and David Luiz for me, that could be the centre-back partnership until the end of the season. Obviously, William Saliba comes at the end of the season, who I saw him play the other night. Was it last night or a couple of nights ago against Monaco? And he looked quality. I don't want to overhype him, but Saliba looks like he could be a very good bit of business. The Saint says the Brazilian public really rate him. Yeah, I've had a few Flamengo fans message me saying, you've got a bargain. Somebody asked why he's so cheap. I mean, they paid £1 million for him. And he's had a great season for them. They've taken £4 million just to have him on loan. And I think we have to pay a further £7 million to complete the deal. It's £10 million profit, which is good money for them very easily. Tom McGurm says, since Saliba has come back from injury, 6 games unbeaten. Yeah, very good player by the looks of it, Saliba. Omar said the fact he's left-footed makes him the perfect signing in terms of Pablo Mari. Let's talk about the second signing we're being linked with at the moment. By the way, Reese Lockett says, hey Curtis, how you doing? How was your day? All good, bro. Hope you're good as well. Happier now Arsenal completing deals. Let me know what you think about the second signing. This one, I'm not as excited about, but I get it. Cedric Soares from Southampton, 28-year-old. He's a right back, can also play centre back, can also play left back. Now, my initial thought process is a guy at Southampton who's coming to the end of his contract, 28 years of age. It's not an exciting deal. And I understand any Arsenal fan who feels underwhelmed by this deal. I understand. But let's flip it on its head and try and give it a positive outlook. We're not going to spend big money in this window. We know that. We need to boost the squad. We've got the Europa League. We've got the FA Cup. We've got the Premier League. We're not going to spend big money. Now, what we're doing is making signings for the squad. Now, they're going to view Cedric as he's 28, he's experienced, he knows the Prem, he's an international, and he is a defender. It's not playing Ainsley Maitland-Niles there, who's a midfielder. They're getting him on loan. Apparently, it's less than £1 million for Cedric Soares. They're saying around 800 or 900,000 to take him on loan till the end of the season. If we want to sign him, he's a free transfer in the summer. If he comes in as backup, does okay, and we don't want him, we let him go. We haven't spent even £1 million on him in terms of the fee. So I think from that point of view, look, I'm trying to be positive here. Look, Arsenal for me, a club the size of Arsenal, if you need a centre back, if you need a right back, I would like to see Arsenal being linked with top quality, right? Players who maybe are going to cost big money. But unfortunately, we know because of Stan Kroenke and the way he runs the club, self-sustaining, blah, 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 and financial fair play, it only seems to affect us. You know, the other top six clubs, you never hear them mention financial fair play. But Arsenal, because we're ran like a small club, this is what it is. I think Arteta's just looked at it. He's probably gone, look, I haven't got a lot of money to spend. I need a couple of defenders in. I get Suarez on loan for 900 grand. And I get Mari on loan for 4 million. We haven't even spent 5 million on two defenders. And I think, I think he'll be happy with that. But does it inspire the fans? Probably not. I still hope that Pablo Mari can be a smart bit of business. He's the one I'm looking at thinking, he's a big guy, left-footed. He's had a good time in South America. I'm hoping, because he'll be very determined. He wasn't given a chance at Manchester City. And, he was loaned out 3 times at City. So he'll be hoping to prove a point. Tuan Ngoyan says, Curtis, Arsenal will sell. Aubameyang is not signing a new deal. Well, we'll see. I think if we win the Europa League, he'll stay. If we don't get in the Champions League, I think Aubameyang leaves. What's your thoughts on Mari and Cedric Soares? Kazara Borsellino says, Cedric Kurzawa, let's look at it that way. So he's saying Cedric's better than Kurzawa. Omar said Cedric isn't good enough. Emmanuel Tillahun said Cedric would be good backup to Bellerin, which I do agree with that. Do you think we are signing Cedric to push Maitland-Niles into midfield instead of right back, says Reece Lockett? Possibly. Apparently, Arteta said in a press conference that he sees Ainsley as a centre midfielder. Gaurav Siraj said, I don't think so in terms of Cedric, so you don't think he's good enough. Let's have a look. Hatem Mona said, congrats on 6k subs. Big up everyone supporting the channel, all your comments, all your interaction. I want to make this an interactive channel. I always try and read your comments that you leave. I recognize a lot of the names because a lot of you have been supporting for a while. Anyone who hasn't subscribed, keep subscribing to the channel. I appreciate your support. I hit 6,000 today. I never imagined the channel getting even to this size when I started it. So thank you all for your support. Severin said, Cedric is very good, but we need a backup of Ozil. I actually think we need somebody to overtake Ozil. Never mind back him up. Can Ceballos be that number 10? Can Joe Willock be that number 10? Emmanuel says, not quantity, it's about quality. I agree, but I think the problem is we don't have the money. We should have the money, but we don't. It's a joke, really. Robert Stanger said, loving the live stuff. Yeah, a lot of people, Robert, have been asking for the live streams. I think they like the interaction, having the comments read out, and it's a bit more personal. So I don't mind. I'll do the live streams as and when I can. Ryan Amahani said, Ceballos or Willock over Ozil. I don't mind that. Ryan also says, congrats on 6k, onwards and upwards, bro. Appreciate that, Ryan. Osbert Wicken said, Miles, third choice. Yeah, third choice right back and, concentrate on midfield. Tuan Ngoyan said, I like Arteta's style of play. I trust he will make any sign and play saucy football. Congrats on 6k, road to 10k. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Hopefully I'll hit 10k before the end of the season. And as you say, Arteta's got people who we didn't rate playing good football. Emmanuel said Grealish is the best replacement for Ozil. I would definitely sign Jack Grealish. And if Aston Villa get relegated, he'll be even cheaper. But, I'd love to sign him. Ebby Vander said, I wanted Lacazette loaned out for Lamar with the option to buy. Oh, harsh, man. Harsh. I do agree that Lacazette needs to do a lot more than what he's doing, though. Atletico Madrid came out today and said, yesterday, and said that Lamar is definitely not leaving in this window, so we can forget about that. Arsenal Alex says, congratulations, mate, on your 6K. Big up, Arsenal Alex. I believe you've got a YouTube channel as well. People check that out. Vegard T says, hello, Curtis. Thumbs up for your videos. Are always the highlight in my day. Keep up the great work, always quality. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for your support. Wenger out says, Grealish or Maddison, who would you take? Personally, I like Grealish. I think he's got a little bit more to his game. He dribbles. He's a little bit stronger. Ryan says 100% Grealish as well. He's a player I rate. And also, he tagged a picture after he played Arsenal at the Emirates saying that the Emirates is his favourite stadium in the country to play at. So, he likes the club. Interesting that John Cross, let's get one thing straight. John Cross, not everything this guy says is gospel. He talks a lot of nonsense, but he said even after Cedric Soares, Arsenal are looking to get one more player in. Will it be a midfielder? He did say at the start of the window, Arteta, he would like a box-to-box midfielder. Or does this mean Ceballos will go? Interesting. Wolfgang says Roberto Firmino or Raul Jimenez. I think that's very easy, mate. Firmino is one of the best strikers in Europe. Certainly as a false nine, not an out-and-out goal scorer, but in that false nine role, he's one of the best around. Raul Jimenez is decent, but he's not on Firmino's level. Let's have a look. Emmanuel says win-win. If Villa get relegated, we can get Grealish for around 35 million. Villa fans won't appreciate that, but I get what you're saying. Ebby Vander says, please try keep the streams this early, bro. Yeah, I'll try, man. I'll try. Usually I do them late at night, but yeah, if it's easier for people, I'll try and do them earlier. What do you think about tonight's game, bro? Ryan said, I think Man City will beat Man United. I know Man United are about to sign Bruno Fernandes for nearly 60 million. That's a big signing for them. Shadow says big transfers need to be done in the summer. Grealish, Ake, Samare, Zaha in with Mustafi, Holding, Ozil, El Neni, Mkhitaryan and Lacazette out. We definitely need to do big business. Tuan and Goyen said Curtis, Aston Villa, I'll take Tyrone Mings instead of Grealish. Oof, that's crazy. Giannis Middleton said the virus has reached Dubai. I'm tripping. Wow, man. Take care over there. Ian Freighter said, real talk, what's your honest opinion on Arteta? Great show as well, boss. Appreciate it, Ian. Made a good start. Nothing more than that. I'm not going to say he's a revelation. He's got the team working harder. They look more organised. They're passing the ball better. But it's just a start. I'm not going to overhype him, but I hope he's a success because he genuinely cares about the club, and you can see that. RZL said, Emiliano Buendia is better than Grealish. It is possible if Norwich get relegated. I've heard a few people talk about this guy, saying he's similar to like Santi Cazorla at Norwich. I honestly haven't seen much of him. He looks tidy when I have seen him, but I haven't seen him much. Max Carroll says Ziyech or Grealish, both good players. I will take both of them to replace Ozil. Taib Hassan said, Curtis, do you rate Samatta? Honestly, I haven't seen him play, mate. I haven't even heard of him. Let's have a look. Rory Hannell said Ziyech or Grealish. That is a tough one. That is tough because I really rate Ziyech. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Grealish. And I'm not saying that he's better than Ziyech. I just think the adjustment period would be easier. I think Ziyech is a little bit lightweight, but his left foot is amazing. It's a tough one. He reminds me a bit of Mahrez, Ziyech. I don't know if he prefers drifting in off the wing or does he actually like playing in that 10 role. I'm not sure. I would go for Grealish. Billy Schmidt said 6K, sweet bro, roll on 10K. Good to see players in or players we can get to the summer and win Europa League. That's a result. Yeah, and that's it. We might not even keep these two guys we've signed today, Mari and we haven't signed Cedric Soares, but it's expected to be completed tomorrow. Just get us into that Europa League, win it, and get us into the Champions League next season. Taib Hussein says, Curtis, you pronounced my name wrong after pronouncing it correctly. Oh, dear. Sorry, mate. Taib. Sorry, it's one of them. Let's have a look. Giannis Middleton said, Ceballos looked refreshed. Don't you think Unai destroyed all these players? Possibly. Faris Ahmed said, unpopular opinion, Martinelli, Lacazette. So you think Martinelli's better than Lacazette? Possibly. I mean, he looks like he's going to score more goals. Tuan and Goyen said, would you sell Laka and Aubameyang to reinvest or sign Lacazette and Aubameyang on new deals? What's your future on Arsenal? For me, I would keep Aubameyang, definitely, for at least 2 more years. And Lacazette, it depends. If he finishes the season well, possibly keep him. If he doesn't, and you can get a good price for him, move him on. It's his third season, and he hasn't scored enough goals, and he doesn't look like scoring. Thoughts on Everton rejecting €100 million for Richarlison, says Abdi. I mean, that is phenomenal. That screams of a panic buy for me. What is interesting is Barcelona being linked with Aubameyang for £50 million, yet €100 million for Richarlison. I know he's younger and he plays for Brazil, but, you know, it just shows. I'm surprised Everton didn't accept that. Richarlison is good, but, you know, €100 million, is he that good? I don't know. Would you start Mari Sunday against Burnley besides Luis, says Rory Hannell? I honestly don't think he'll play, mate, because I don't think he's fit enough. Don1 says, Curtis, you're fast becoming my favourite channel. Straight talking and no bullshit. Appreciate that, Don1, mate. I always see your comments. Respect for your support. The Saint says, Don1, exactly my thoughts. Curtis got a good channel going. I'm trying, bro. Appreciate it. Stan Kroenke says, Richarlison is better than Aubameyang. Not for me. Maybe all-round game, but not in terms of goals. Shadow said, if Richarlison is 100 million, Aubameyang is worth 200 million, even with his contract. Far better goal scorer. I mean, Richarlison, don't get me wrong, I rate him. He's a very good player. The fact he plays for Brazil gives him premium as well, but he's not worth 100 million euros. Vegard T said, do you think we'll finish in the top four? I honestly don't. I think we had an opportunity. I think we've blown it. I think our opportunity of Champions League football is to win the Europa League. Let's have a look. Bob Marley 420 said Aubameyang's 30 though. Yeah, I get your point. You know, when they get to that age, the price will drop. But imagine how many goals Aubameyang would score at Barcelona. He'd score 30 goals plus easily in a season. Tuan Ngoyen said Curtis is our Aubameyang for AFTV FC. Oh man, I tried my best for them. You know, we got to the final. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But next season we're coming back. Any of you guys out there who play football, you think you're a decent level and you can get to England, we got trials coming up. Wilson says, hi Curtis. Max Carroll said, is it true you play professional yet? John Allen said Aubameyang is the best player. I agree with you, they're definitely the best player. Jordan Fall said, all the top strikers are in their 30s. Luis Suarez, Lewandowski, Aubameyang, yeah, most of them are in their 30s. Ronaldo as well, even Messi. Let's have a look. 1-1 said, yeah, Aubameyang is getting on and his game relies on a lot of pace, so he'll probably be done in 3 years. 3 years is still 3 years. He can do a lot for you in that time. Baraket MK said, hi Curtis, should Arsenal need to keep Ceballos for another year? I don't think they'll sign him unless he has a really good end to the season. I think they'll send him back. Bob Marley 420 said, yeah, but 3 years of 30 goals a season. Stan Kroenke said, have you been to Meadow Park? Whose ground is that? Remind me of that. Guna Talk, let's talk. Would you cash in for Lacazette and buy a goal-scoring left winger? I'd possibly sell him and buy Zaha, to be honest. Let's have a look. Taib said, Curtis, when I played footy at school, I used to think I was so great until bigger and better players started joining in. You've got to be one of the bigger and better players. Mr. J84, hold tight, Curtis. Just waiting for your footballing history, particularly your youth international career with Jamaica. I will do a video about that eventually, about my own background as well, but for now we'll just concentrate on Arsenal. Bob Marley 420, how much would you sell Lacazette for? 60 million? 50 or 60 million plus, I think, and get Zaha on the left. Is it true you played professionally, says Max Carroll? What position did you play? Mostly as a striker, sometimes a number 10 as well. Rory Hannell, if we had only one more signing, who would you have got? Be realistic. I would have liked Thomas Partey at centre mid. 45 million, I don't see why they can't pay that. Giannis Middleton, did you play for Dominico? Yeah, I went over there and played a few games. Wilson says, my prediction, Burnley 1, Arsenal 3. The Saint says, Meadow, Park, Boreham Wood. Yeah, I've been there twice, actually. I thought it was that stadium, actually. 1-1 says, yeah, 3 years is a long time, but in terms of value, 100 million on Aubameyang isn't happening. I agree, but he's got to be worth, what, 60, 70 million Aubameyang? He's one of the best goal scorers in Europe. Emmanuel says, with all our young players coming through, how long till we challenge for the league? I say 2 years. Unless we spend money, I think 3 or 4 years. Because Liverpool and City will strengthen as well. Henry Chung said, how much time do we give Pepe? I mean, I think he's got a 4 or 5 year contract. You've got to give him time. I think he's started all right. He just needs to score more goals, really. The Saint says, Pepe is fantastic, give him time. I think he's definitely got ability. We just need to see more goals from him. Darren Sullivan, what blockbuster midfielder would you get in? Grealish is good enough. We should be getting him. I think at the end of the season, teams will try and get him. It depends if we're in the Champions League or not. Wolfgang says, Ollie in or out? Ollie in for me because I don't rate him. Leave him there. Arsenal forever. If Arteta made Mustafi and Xhaka play better so he can make Mari play like Van Dijk, I hope so. I really hope so. Bob Marley 420. Why does Pepe play on the right? I think he likes cutting inside onto that left foot. And, just trying to bend it in the far corner like Salah does, like those people. Tuan and Goyen, would you sell Aubameyang in the summer or risk Aubameyang doing a Rambo and leave for free? If he doesn't want to extend his contract, I'd sell him. I don't think they can afford to do that. Ebby Vander said, Ollie wants Alexis back. I think that's too little, too late. Taib said, Pookie would be a good signing. I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal, man. Giannis Middleton, I feel enthused, but I'm a bit worried about Arteta. He's going to get tested, especially in the summer. That's for sure. Max Carroll, what position did you play? Mainly like number 10, really, in the Ozil role, but I scored more goals than Ozil. As I got older, I've been back to playing up front. Faris Ahmed, sell Aubameyang and Lacazette, keep Nketiah and sign Werner. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced about Eddie Nketiah yet. I think he's got a lot more to prove. I do rate Werner, I'll be honest with you. Let's have a look. Gary Hawks, what central midfielder like a Vieira type of player would you have? I like Ndidi and I like Thomas Partey. Big up Zayn Miassi in the super chat, always supporting Zayn. He said, Curtis, I saw Claude's show yesterday. Had Lee Gunner on. I just saw a video of him boasting how much money he made from super chats when we lost the Europa League. Please don't ever get that fraud on. Wow, I know that was a controversial video, and I think the less said about that, the better, man. I always try and stay humble. I hope I'll never be acting like that. That's for sure. I appreciate your comment, Zayn. I'm always supporting the channel. Let's have a look what else you've got to say. Wolfgang said, with Aubameyang back in action, are you going to drop Martinelli? Absolutely, 100% no chance. You play Martinelli on the left, you play Aubameyang through the middle, you play Pepe on the right. For me, I wouldn't mind seeing Lacazette playing the 10 role, or even Ceballos. But I think Ozil should be dropped, in my opinion. Let's have a look. Adrian Webster, can Xhaka play left back if needed, inverted full back in possession? I don't think he's got the pace. Imagine him playing against a really fast winger. I think he would struggle. The Saint says, Zayn, not creators' fault. People pay super chats out. Yeah, some people just want to support people's channels. It's appreciated, but as I always say to people, I appreciate the interaction as well. Giannis said, I'm a huge Ozil fan, but it's time for Ceballos to start ahead of him. I agree. I think it's time for Ozil to be moved on, to be honest. 350 grand a week and 1 assist this season. It's simply not enough. Darren Sullivan said our young guns are looking good. Some of them are, especially Saka and Martinelli. They've been really impressive. Mr. J84J said, Nketiah off the bench. I think he can do something from the bench. He looks like he's got a knack for scoring goals, but I'm just not sure how good he is yet. Archie Chandler says, Donny van der Beek, he's a very good player. I think a lot of people will try and sign him in the summer. Tuan and Goyen said, humble Curtis, would you sell Guendouzi in the summer if a big bid came in? honestly, if a big bid came in, I would consider it. I'm not. I think he's a decent player with potential. I don't think he's a superstar, but it would have to be a big bid. Faris Ahmed said, drop Ozil, play Gabby in the 10. Um, Faris Ahmed, play Gabby Martinelli in the 10. Yeah, possibly. Big up Sebastian J. Brooks with the super chat. He says, big up Curtis, one of the best voices on Arsenal. 2 questions. Are Liverpool going to reach 50 games unbeaten? Game 49 is Man City away. And will Arsenal win the title back? Whew. Do you know what? I honestly think Liverpool will go unbeaten all season. Will Arsenal win the title this decade? Sorry. I believe we will. I'm an optimist. I'm hoping that with enough investment that we can win it this decade. But it might not be in the next 2 or 3 years. It might take a little longer. Ikem said, don't you think we need a midfielder for next season? Definitely. The problem is good midfielders cost a lot of money. Yeah. It may be the summer. Great question, Sebastian, said Tuan. Archie Chandler said, AFTV FC trials, yeah, at the end of February. Emmanuel said, Saka is kind of underrated. The media never talk about him in terms of young talent. Yeah, Saka is very good. Max Carroll said, if you could bring in 3 players, who would you bring in? I would bring in, I like Nathan Ake or Upamecano. I'd bring in Thomas Partey or Ndidi, and I'd bring in Zaha. Mr. Ixa123, grab Aaron Ramsey back. Gary Hawke says, realistically, if Arsenal sold Ozil, how much do you think we would get for him? Oh, you'd be lucky to get 10 million for him. King Solomon says, Curtis, I hope Mari would be worth it. He looks like a good player. But that PSV striker, Bergwijn, that Spurs signed is a real player. We should have signed him. Yeah, I've heard big things about him. I don't really know much about him, but I know he's got a good record in Holland. Tambo Brown, who you think we sign in next? It'll be Cedric Soares tomorrow, I think, but hopefully we get one more. Shadow said Ramsey is not playing at Juve, nearly never. Yeah, he's on too much wages. We're not going to sign him back. Warsam Youssef said, if we want to make a real statement this summer, we should break the bank for Thiago. Bayern Munich, very good player, and he could play in the 10 role as well. Tambo Brown said, when will Arsenal sell Ozil? I think he'll be here till the end of his contract. MN Gunnar, that Spurs player from Holland, is going to be a star. Unfortunately, I have heard he's a very good player, but hopefully he flops at Tottenham. You know, we don't want him to do well. Baraket MK said, Saliba and Mari can be good together, don't you think? Yeah, possibly, with Mari playing on the left and Saliba on the right. John Allen says, get back Santi Cazorla for a year. I think that boat's sailed now. Max Carroll said, hi Curtis, my name is Max. I come from Ireland. I've been to 2 games. I'm going to the last game of the season. Love your vids. Keep it up. Appreciate that, Max. Big up all the Arsenal fans over there in Ireland. Torreira is so good. Jim Burkhamer said, who would you prefer as left back between Saka, Tierney and Kolasinac? I have been really impressed with Saka, but I think we've got to give Tierney a fair chance and see how good he is. Kolasinac I don't really rate as a defender. The Saint says, you think Ozil not interested, he's giving everything, or has he lost his touch? I think he is putting the effort in. I just don't think he can hurt the top teams. Certainly not enough. I think his legs are going, and, you know, 1 assist, no goals, you know, that speaks for itself. Stan Kroenke says, Kolasinac 1, Saka 2, Tierney 3. Wow, I'd say the exact opposite. I think Kolasinac has proved he's not a great left back. Zora Gaming said, I'm surprised the bigger clubs haven't come in for Torreira. He has world-class potential. Possibly. But he's on a long contract at Arsenal. I think he's happy here. Ebby Vander said, what happened to Leon Bailey? Is he overhyped? Leon Bailey, I believe, is having a decent season at Bayer Leverkusen this year. He was linked with Chelsea and Arsenal. Darren Sullivan, Saka is far ahead of Tierney and Kolasinac. Wow. Let's have a look. Omar says, good night, bro. We'll catch you tomorrow. Big up, Omar, always supporting. Janice Middleton says, Leon Bailey has got 3 red cards this season. Wow. That's the feistiness, man. He's a Jamaican, man. Don't take no prisoners. Nevin said Grealish or Zaha in the summer. I think Grealish would be the bigger priority because I think we could get away with Martinelli, Aubameyang, and Pepe. The number 10 role I think needs sorting out. DUK says, don't you think Guendouzi is overhyped? Yeah, he's okay. He had a good game in the week, but he's certainly nothing special. But he could become a very good player. Bob Marley 420 says Grealish, yeah, big fan, very good player, and I said a lot of complimentary things about Arsenal. Arteta's favourite player at Arsenal, says Wolfgang. I mean, I can't say who his favourite is, but he seems to love Xhaka. You know, begged him to stay apparently. John Allen says Leon Bailey, real Jamaican baller, very good player, man, and he looks very good for the national team, the Jamaican team. DJK said, which other signings would you like to see? There's a lot, mate. As I've said, Zaha, Grealish. I'd take Nathan Ake. I'd take Upamecano. There's lots I would look at. Ivan said, great news, Curtis. Now let's go for Soares. I think Cedric Soares will be signed tomorrow, possibly. Ali Osman, Curtis, how far will we go in the Europa League? I'm going to be optimistic and say we're going to win it, but it's going to be tough. Inter Milan, Man United, Ajax, Roma, and Arsenal, they're probably the top 5 teams. Raul Leda 1 said, yeah, definitely should get Grealish, top player. Shadow says, priority in the summer should be to get rid of Ozil. Too much money we lose on him. Who's going to take him on 350 grand? And no one's going to pay a transfer fee at this rate. Let's have a look. Giannis said, what do you think of how Xhaka is dropping in to protect Saka when he bombs forward? I love the formation tweaks, beautiful football. It's something that happened a lot at Man City, so he's obviously seen that with Pep, and it works. Because it gives your fullbacks the ability to bomb on. Nathan Dog says, big up Curtis, you are a legend, man. Big fan, appreciate it, Nathan. 187 Addy, Guendouzi is actually worth the hype. There aren't many like him in his position at that age. I suppose he's good for his age, but what? He's decent at keeping the ball, but I think sometimes positionally, his positional sense is a little bit crazy. He plays a little bit as an individual. Arsenal 040 said, Ziyech, please. Reece Lockett said, the fall of Alexis Sanchez is unreal. Oh, mate, he was probably the best winger in the league along with Hazard. Now, who would actually take him? Marco Sousa, would you swap Lacazette with Memphis Depay? That's interesting, but I believe Depay's out for a long time with injury at the moment, so probably not. But I get your point, because I'm sure Leon would love to have Lacazette back. Let's have a look. Bob Marley 420. Grealish gets assists even when it's 2 Aston Villa attackers. He has the same goals and just 2 less assists than Mahrez. But Aston Villa, in an Arsenal shirt, he'd be a god. He's a very good player, man. Gianni said, Alexis looks fat these days. Have you seen him? I haven't watched him play at Inter. I think he's injured. DJK said, what's your take on the Aubameyang saga? I think he's sitting tight. If you was Aubameyang's agent, you would say, look, wait till the end of the season. If you've got a year left, a lot of top clubs would take him, give him big wages, and you would get him for cheaper. If Arsenal get Champions League, maybe, he signs on big money, extends, because apparently he's happy in London. Reece Lockett, would you swap Alexis for Lacazette? Not now. Marco Sousa, go in training now. Have a good night, Curtis. Bless it. Appreciate that. All the best, mate. Wolfgang says, why don't we score more goals from midfield? How many of them shoot? Xhaka's got a good shot sometimes, but he doesn't shoot. Torreira doesn't shoot. Ozil gets in good positions and doesn't shoot. Have Lamar rumours broken down, said Arsenal 40. Yeah, the chief exec of Atletico said he won't be going. Adrian Webster, what formation would you play? I'd stick with a 4-2-3-1 at the moment. Arsenal gamer, bro, would you take Ziyech to replace Ozil? 100%. I think they want 43 million for him, but how are you going to get Ozil off the books? I think he'll be here for another year. Emmanuel says, Curtis, do you think we'll go big in the summer? I only see us going big if we get in the Champions League. If we don't, it'll be similar signings to what we're doing. Coach Jordash says, Maddison, I don't think Arsenal will go for him. It'll be very expensive as well. What is the role of Maitland-Niles if we buy Cedric? I think they'll move him back to midfield. He'll still be a squad player. Wee Wang said, hope we get Maddison, but need to let Ozil go first. And who's going to take him? Stan Kroenke says Coutinho, Thiago, Adama Traore, and Grealish. Interesting because Coutinho, I think Bayern Munich have already said they're not going to make that a permanent, and Barcelona obviously still want him out. Who will take Coutinho in the summer? Thiago, Bayern Munich apparently is available in the summer at the right price. Adama Traore is being linked with moves. Apparently, Wolves want like 70 million for him. And Grealish, yeah, I think especially if Villa get relegated, that teams will definitely be looking at him. Arsenal 40 said DC United or Fenerbahce for Ozil. Yeah, possibly. But again, it would be on loan, and then Arsenal would probably have to pay part of his wages. And Arsenal are a tight club. They just don't like spending money. Let's have a look. Tian Ngoyen said, if Arsenal in 2 years are back in the Champions League, we keep Arteta as long-term manager. I think he needs to be backed. We can't keep changing managers now. Just back Arteta. Give him 2 or 3 years in the job unless things get desperate. Coach Jordash said, even if Maddison is expensive, we need to back Mikel with funds. Yeah, he does. He needs big money, but he's going to have to do something to push them. I think in the summer, if the Kroenkes don't back Arteta, the fans need to turn on them now. Enough's enough. You can't keep accepting what the Kroenkes are doing. It's not good enough. Rauleda one said no one will buy Ozil and he will not want to leave that 350 grand a week. And why would he? Wolfgang said sell Maitland-Niles. Yeah, I mean, squad player, how much money would you get for Maitland-Niles if you sold him? I don't think you would get a lot. Gunnar said, what do you think Arteta can improve on as a manager? I mean, he can improve on everything, but he started well, and maybe in the transfer market he's going to have to be a bit stronger with the Kroenkes and push them to back him a little bit more. Gary Hawke said, I don't want him to go, but just say Aubameyang goes in the summer. Who do you replace him with? Possibly Timo Werner over there at Leipzig. He's definitely good. Tuan and Goin said, if you haven't subscribed to Curtis, don't be shy. Calm Arsenal discussions. Keep subscribing to the channel. Hit 6k today. Let's see where we can end up by the end of the season. Appreciate all your support. Adrian Webster, what league position do you predict next season? I mean, look, if we get in the Champions League, I think next season we can get top 4. If we don't get in the Champions League, I think it could be more of the same, because I think the likes of Aubameyang will probably leave. Would you start Mari against Burnley, says Jerome? I don't think he'll be fit enough, because I think they've only just started pre-season in Brazil. They're coming off the back of a break. So I think he'll need more time. Let's have a look. Simon Sorensen, I think Maddison is overhyped too much. Grealish looks much better than him and really fights for his team. Coach Jordash had replaced Aubameyang with Dybala. I mean, all the best getting him. He's having a decent season. I think he's playing again. We've got 230 million in cash reserves, says Stan Kroenke. Wouldn't surprise me, mate, but they're just not going to spend it. They're building a new stadium, the Kroenkes, in America, that's costing over 5 billion. So where do you think a lot of this money comes from? This is the reason they're not putting money into Arsenal, I'm afraid. So just to round it up, obviously Arsenal, they've signed Pablo Mari on loan, and it looks as if Cedric Soares will be signed in the next 24 hours. John Cross saying that we're also looking for one more, so let's see who we get. I'll do a couple more live streams before the window closes. Big up everyone subscribing, getting me to 6k. Keep subscribing as well. Thanks for everyone in the live chat. If you're watching it after, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the signings. Smash that thumbs up button. I'll be back next time. Bless.